Then role of advertising. Okay, what is the role of advertising? What it does? So that we have seen. Then functions of advertising. So three types: social function, psychological function, and economic function. Then comes types of advertising. So again here different types are there. Okay, based on target group. So under target group, many are there like consumer advertising, service advertising, industrial advertising. Okay, yesterday we saw all these in detail. So first is the target group, then second is type of impact required advertisement. So under that we are having promotional demand advertisement, direct or indirect action demand advertisement, then institutional advertisement. Then comes geographical area. So national advertisement, local advertisement, and the global advertisement. The name itself says national, all over the country. Local, specific to a small area or a place. Then global is towards many countries. Global in the sense not to all the countries in the world, but to many countries. It could be all the countries as well, or it could be more than one country. So we call it as global. Then comes advertising and marketing mix. Marketing mix you already know: product, price, place, and promotion. How this is being in tandem with advertising, or how we mix advertising and marketing mix, that we saw. Then that is advertising and product. So again, product classification: consumer goods, durable goods, non-durable goods, convenience goods, shopping goods, and specialty goods. Then comes advertisement and place. So what kind of distribution are going to make intensive distribution, selective distribution, or exclusive distribution? Then it is advertising and promotion. So under this, we are having personal selling, advertising, public relations, and sales promotion. Then where we stopped, this is advertising and price. So how do you advertise in pricing? So what kind of pricing you are doing? So pricing has a very good influence on the buying behavior of a person. So based on what is your product, where are you, which country, okay, what is the scale you are doing, okay, and is it in the initial stage, middle stage, or at the end stage? So all these things taken into consideration, plus who are your competitors, how big are they, what they are doing. So all these things taking into picture, we are having different kinds of pricing. That is price skimming, penetration pricing, competitive pricing, comparative pricing, promotional pricing, and prestige pricing. So we ended our class, the yesterday's class here. So we are continuing anything after this. So a small part was remaining because yesterday we were about to run out of the time provided to us. Okay. So this is the small part that is remaining in chapter 1 or module 1. So if we finish this, we are completing module 1. Then we'll start with module 2. Okay, so advertising appeal in various stages of PLC. What is PLC? Product life cycle. So under this, what are the stages? Three stages are there. First is the pioneering stage, competitive stage, and the retentive stage. So what is this pioneering stage? So when are we saying that we are in pioneering stage? So when we are launching new product, or we are making any modification in the current product. Okay, so new product or modified product. Already a product is there, we are making some changes. That is called as a modified product. Because we don't know how the reaction of the people would be, they'll not be knowing what the product is or what are the modifications, what are the advantages or disadvantages of it. So why I'm saying disadvantage here is, with good intention, any person makes any changes, but there might be adverse effects. We never know. So only the word disadvantages or disadvantage was used. Okay, usually it is not told or not advertised in the market. Okay, but still there might have some disadvantages because of the changes. So nobody is intending to have those, but as a side effect of whatever you are doing and not taking into account, so those can come into picture. Okay, so when are we in pioneering stage? So before that, what is pioneer? To be good at something in that particular area. A pioneer we call, okay, pioneer in sales. So the person is good in sales, or he knows everything about sales. So something like that. Pioneer is a person who is having good knowledge of it. Okay, so he is called as a pioneer. So we need to be pioneer in our product. Okay, it could be a modified product which is already existing, or a new product which we are launching into the market. Next, customers are not aware of the product. As I said, the modification or the new product that you are bringing to the market, many people may not be knowing it. So you need to have a conscious effort of making them understand what and where you are into the market. Plus, what is your product, what it is being capable of. Okay, so you are basically awareing, making the consumers or the general public aware. Next comes consumers do not recognize the need to buy the product. If you just come with a product, people may think that okay, why I need it. Before the product also I was there, I was leading a good life, everything was fine. So why do I need this new product? Okay, so you need to create that need in the minds of the people by which they will be buying your product. Okay, next, there is more risk in this stage as it is challenging to create a new brand in the minds of the customers. So, as and when a new brand is there into the market, people don't want to buy it, they don't want to experiment. Many people, why? Because a good alternative which they were already using, they are satisfied with it. Why do they want to change it and take risk? Okay, nobody wants to take risk here. So because the earlier product what they were using, okay, it was good, or if it is a new thing into the market and they don't want to use it, so everything is fine. Why do we want to use it? Take risk. We don't know what is the result of it, whether it's a good product, not a good product, quality product, has any side effects. So we don't want to take those chances basically. So it is very difficult to make a person buy any product which is new into the market which he doesn't trust. If okay, there's a big brand behind it and somebody assures that okay, nothing will happen, you can use this and these are the benefits, so this is what you need to do to convince the person at the other end. Okay, next comes ad must impress that it is a improved product and must educate the public. Okay, so many people come with many modified products, the packaging might be different, okay, the shape of the product could be different, okay, or they might be adding some new features into it. Okay, so like example, you can take iron. Okay, what was earlier, like how people did, they used to have charcoal or coal basically, they used to ignite it, put it in a container, basically it is like iron, and they used to press clothes. Then there was a electricity one came which people started using. Okay, then the modification was add water and there is a steam that is coming out. Why? So because you are having good crisp creases. Okay, and if there are any creases on your cloth where it is not necessary, if you are having a steam iron, that is very easy to take it off. Okay, if the steam is not there, it is very difficult, it will not go that easily. Okay, so these happens while you are washing it and you are not drying it properly, the lines and wrinkles come basically. So those things have to be removed and it is very difficult, but when the steam iron has come, it is very easy to remove as compared to the without steam iron or non-steam irons. Okay, so these are the new features which are being added. Okay, and which will be helping the process or packaging. In a sense, if you see dairy milk, so much of packaging has been changed. Okay, why? To give something new to the people. They if people say okay, packaging is of 20 years old, 30 years old, there is no change in this, because so many things matter. Earlier the technology would not have been improved. Now so many things have improved, why don't you use that particular technology in your product, people may ask. So if you see, there are 20, 30 different kind of packages which are being done from the inception of dairy milk till today. Okay, you only might have seen two to three. So all these things come into the market. So people may not be ready to accept it. You should make sure that they know the advantages of what is being done. Okay, and you should convince them that it is that those changes are basically done for the advantage of the consumers itself. Okay, next, ads must suggest new usage and habit change. So new usage in the sense, so whatever you are modifying in your product or whatever new product you are bringing into the market, so what is the use of it? How to use it properly? So new usage that they are saying. Then the next is habit change, because they were accustomed to the old product. They need to have a new habit now. If they want to think, they have to think your product. So something like that, the ad must be. The ad should suggest the new usage as well as they have to it has to convince the customer or the consumer that they have to change the habit of using the earlier products or whatever they are doing earlier. They need to change it. Then, if the advertisement succeeds, it may help the brand to become a pioneer. But in the sense, whatever you intend to do and in the way that you have done, if it works, then you will be a pioneer in that particular product or in that particular segment. So this is what is pioneer stage. So as you already know, PLC you need to compare with your product life cycle. So this is the initial stage. In the initial stage, in terms of the marketing, what all we are doing, what all needs to be done for a product to be uh, like product to be understood by the consumers, known by the consumers, and persuade them to buy that particular product. Okay, this is pioneer stage. Next, next is competitive stage. So, what is competitive stage? So now initial we were there, then this growth. Okay, we are into the growth stage now. You are already made an effort to make sure that many people in the market know what are you, who are you, what are your products, what it does, what benefits it gives to the consumer if he buys. So all these things you have already communicated now, and it is there in the minds of the people. Next is competitive stage. So at this stage, a brand or product has many competitors. If you are bringing a new product, by this time many people might have seen your product and have come up with their own product, or seeing your modification, they might have done some different modifications and they are trying to compete with you in that particular segment. Okay. Next is the consumers are well aware of the benefits of the product. Okay. Not only your product but your competitors' product as well. So if it is new thing, okay, people were very much keen into knowing what is your product and what it does. But now many people know what it is. Plus there are many contenders or competitors into the market, and now people are educated with their ability of their product as well as the usage of their products also. Okay. Next comes they are always aware of other competitive brands. So as I told, what are the other brands into the market which give me the same product or which has the same benefits of using your product. Okay, next is they want to select a particular brand now. So many different varieties you have kept in front of them. Now they have to choose. So how are you making them choose your product? Okay, there should be something in your advertisement that should attract. Okay, so advertisement is one of the part of it, and there are many other things like pricing, availability, okay, and your after sale service if needed. So all this come into play, but advertising plays a very important role. If you want to buy something, then they should think of your product. That's how your advertisement should work. Yeah. The next, the objective of advertisement at this stage is to highlight the benefits and the uniqueness of your product when compared to other products. So, how differentiated are you, or what is your unique feature in your product when compared to the other products? Those things you need to basically show or showcase better to the consumers. So, example FMCG products like toothpaste, bath soap, etc., or shampoos. So, everybody knows there are so many brands of toothpaste, soaps, shampoos, and all. So, how they market? Just look at those ads. Some people say we are having keratin into it. Okay, Tresemme. If you see, keratin is there, it makes it smooth and your hairs will not be tangled or so. And next one, head and shoulders. They say okay, they concentrate on dandruff. Okay, there will be no dandruff you are using if you are using my product. So each and every company is being showcasing one unique thing which others are not doing. So Tresemme says, okay, don't worry, frizz will not be there in your hairs. They will be smooth and silky. Okay, now next head and shoulders, they are making use of the dandruff. Okay, many people they are suffering from dandruff, so they are saying that okay, if you use my product, there is no dandruff. Okay, some next other shampoo, chick, for example. So they say there is egg proteins into it, and egg is the ultimate form of protein where too much of protein is there in egg, and your hair needs egg. Something like that they are marketing or advertising. So that is the unique feature what they are doing. Okay, toothpaste. If you see, salt है क्या? Okay, long है क्या? Neem है क्या? So all these things are there. Okay, then Ayurvedic toothpaste, no chemicals used. Something toothpaste for sensitive teeth. Okay, see these all are competitive. Like they are having a ad which they are already into the competitive stage. Why they are showcasing only the uniqueness of their product? Other things also might be there, but other products or their competitors are already making use of those things. You cannot again go and say, okay, even I also remove dandruff, even I'll also do this. Then they say, okay, I am using that particular product for many years and it's been good to me. Why should I change it now? You should give them a proper reason to change. It could be price, it could be the different sizes of the sachets, okay, or the availability. So if you are providing it at their home, okay, they are very happy to take. They don't want to go out and buy it, especially in the condition in where we are now in COVID. Nobody wants to go out unnecessarily. If if it is a necessity, then only they are going. Otherwise, if it is a need, okay, they are not going out. So unless and until they want it, without that, if they don't survive, then only they are going out. Okay. So because the thing outside is like that now. The situation has become like that because we are hit with the second wave. So even the government says don't come out. They are imposing 144 section. They are saying lockdown. Okay, only certain time it is. You can move around and certain only shops are open. Okay, which are of essential goods. So even they are saying to do this. So based on all these things or all these situations, you can come up with new and better ads. Okay. So if you see Lightboy hand wash. So what was it? They said okay, not only Lightboy, you can use any other hand wash as of now, so that we can keep our the virus away. That means they are creating. Everyone is saying use my product, use my product. They are saying use any product as of now. Okay, make sure you are safe. So this brings a sense of responsibility to the customer, saying that okay, they are very much concerned about me. Okay, so whenever the chance is there, they'll buy that particular product if they remember it well. Okay, so all these things are very important. So this is competitive stage, and next comes the retentive stage. So what is retentive stage? So we have basically reached the maturity stage of the PLC. So if you see here, first thing, the product has reached the maturity stage in its life cycle. So what is maturity? So you are at the highest, the peak. Okay. So it has got a major share into the market. You are the market leader. Okay, for that particular product or that particular segment as of now. Next, the purpose of advertisement at this stage is to keep the product at the top of the recall in the consumer's mind and retain market share. So as of now, as it's been already told, you are into the maturity stage and you are having major market share. You are the market leader. So your efforts would be keeping those many people with you. They should not go somewhere out. So what your competitors does, they want to basically take a part of your market share. So if they want to come into the market, what they have to do, they have to capture something, right? So they will try to take your market share. But what will be your efforts? Your efforts would be to safeguard your market share into the market by doing anything, whatever it is necessary. Okay, so that is what we are doing here. So if you see, the advertisement does not talk much about the benefits of the product here. They say they don't talk much about the benefits. They change the people's perspective. So when you think of certain thing, they should basically remember one of the things what the ad said. Okay, fine. So the advertisement does not talk much about the benefits of the product. The emphasis is more on the visual content and the brand name. They try to highlight, okay, see, we are there into the market from so many years. We are providing this, we are providing that. So so many happy customers. 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 are happy customers. So those things are there. So I think Dove, they say 4 out of 5 uh, people liked our product. They are not uh, like focusing more on what is it, what is being added. Earlier it was there, so it was milk product, the soap was there, which is having more of moisturizer. It has very less impact on your skin and other stuff. It was earlier. Now what they are doing, so 4 out of 5 women like our product, so this is what is our rating. So they are trying to make sure that when you try to say that okay, for skin I'm having a sensitive skin, what should I use, suddenly that particular product should come into your mind. So in something like that they want to market now in this particular stage. The next is, it's very difficult stage for any brand to reach, as there are always competitive brands trying to grab the market share. Okay, so earlier this was there. Okay, major people used to come, like sorry, major of the market share used to be taken by one or the other companies, because there was no much products or no much what you call, uh, no many products, we can say no many products to choose from was there for the consumers. Now you are having so many products. So earlier if you see Maruti cars, if you see car segment, there was only Maruti. If anybody sees, there were others, but they were very costly or they were not appealing the people. But if you see Maruti at particular time, so it was the market leader, and it had almost 80 to 90% of the market share earlier. Okay, so now there are many brands and many variants of cars to choose from. So it is nothing that you need to go to Maruti only. There is Tata, there is Hyundai, there is new car companies already are coming into India, like Tesla, they want to come, Kia has come. Okay, so all these are coming into the market. So reaching this particular stage, maturity stage, is difficult for any of the companies now, because there are too many companies coming in. They are trying to take your market share, and you cannot be the market leader until and unless you are, if you are having all the efforts right in making the right product with the right quality at the right price, and make sure you are putting the right thing into the minds of the people. Okay, so best example here is Nano. So it was a very good effort made by Ratan Tata to bring a car for a middle class family, which is costing around 1 lakh rupees, but they failed in doing so. Why is it? We'll discuss in some other class. Okay, not now. But that is one of the example. Everything was done right, but only one thing they missed, which led to their decline of sales suddenly. Okay, so we'll talk about Nano later, some other time, or in some other context. Okay, so there I'll explain you properly what was happening and what has happened then. So this ends our module 1. So any doubts, anyone in module 1? Yes, students, please respond. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No? Okay,
No,
good.
sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Fine. So we'll have a small recap of module 1. So we started with what is IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication. So various promotional elements coming together to have marketing activities or to communicate with the firm's customers. That is what is basically IMC. Next, IMC planning model. We saw what are the different things into the uh, planning which takes place. So what are the different steps there, and what all we need to be doing with this particular model. So that we saw. Then comes marketing and promotions process model. So how this works. So here we are having four things majorly: marketing strategy and analysis, target marketing process, marketing planning, program development, and target market. So under this there are different things which we need to take care. Okay, so we need to draw this IMC planning model as well as this. So just make sure that you are not getting confused. This is promotions process model, and this is IMC planning model. So usually this particular thing is being asked for 10 marks, and this marketing promotions also 10 marks. So majorly IMC planning model was asked, will be asked, I could say, based on the earlier question papers. And even this question was asked many of the times. But if you compare with the IMC planning model and the marketing and promotions process model, so most of the times IMC is asked, planning model is asked, plus at times both are asked. So make sure you are knowing all these things, okay, next comes the communication process. This is 90% asked in the market for 7 marks. So you should draw this particular diagram, explain each and every part of this, what it is, when it is used, how it is done. Okay, all these things have to be explained properly. So what are the things are there to be explained? Source versus sender, encoding, channel or message, then decoding, receiver, response, feedback, then what is noise, where all it will come and what all types it is there, then what is sender's field of model and receiver's field of model. So all these things you need to explain in communication process. So it is being explained to you properly, go through it. Then we are having steps in developing IMC program. Four things I have told. So if for 3 months or 7 months it is asked, write these, or else you can write the IMC planning process for 10 marks if they ask. Okay, then comes benefits of advertising. So benefits to advertisers, benefits to customers, then role of advertising, what is advertising doing here, okay, what all it does. So we are looking at this here, role of advertising, then functions of advertising. So what kind of functions? Social function, psychological function, and economic function. Then comes type of advertising. So what are the different types of advertising? So it is based on target group. Then we are having type of impact required for the advertisement. Then comes geographical area based advertisement. Then at the last, if we see, we are having advertising and marketing mix. So how the advertising is being done in accordance with the marketing mix. That is advertising with product, with price, with place and promotion. The first one, advertising and product. So what all things are there? Like what all kind of products are there? Consumer goods, durable goods, non-durable, convenience, shopping, and specialty goods. Then we saw advertisement and place. So what kind of distribution you want to have? Intensive distribution, selective distribution, or exclusive distribution. Then advertising and promotions. So here we are having four types: personal selling, advertising, public relations, and sales promotion. Then we have advertising and price. So here different kind of pricing strategies are there based on what kind of product, what stage you are, what kind of competitors you are having. So are you having a comparative price with them, promotional pricing or prestige pricing? So then we saw the advertising appeal in the various stages of PLC. PLC is product life cycle. So we are having pioneering stage, competitive stage, and retentive stage. So here, pioneering stage is the initial stage where people will not be knowing about your product. You need to create awareness. You need to tell them why it is being used, how it is being used, what are the benefits and all in pioneering stage. Then in competitive stage, what we are doing? So we are trying to bring our uniqueness into the market. So there are other products, other competitors into the market. So how good we are, okay, compared to others, what is the benefit of using our product? All these things you need to make sure that you communicate with your customers. Then comes retentive stage. What is retentive stage? You are already at the maturity stage. You are having the major market share. You are the market leader. You want to basically keep it that way. You don't want to give your market share to someone else. So what kind of advertisements you need to have here, what we are basically looking into, what has to be communicated here, and how difficult it is for a brand to reach this particular stage. Okay, this is retentive stage. So by this we are coming to the end of module 1. So again, I am asking, as we went through the module 1, any difficulties or any clarifications you need in module 1? Yes, students. Any difficulties, clarifications, questions? No, right? Okay, fine. So we'll start with module 2, initial stage. Okay. Then we can continue in the next class. We cannot have too much because we are already done with most of our timing in this particular session. So we'll move to module 2. So integrated marketing communication module 2, the name is advertising agencies. Okay, what are advertising agencies? So what are advertising agencies? So before going to the types, will let us know what are advertising agencies. For example, you are a company, or you are an individual or you are a retailer, you want to communicate with your customers or you want to advertise yourself. So there are different companies which are providing this service. Okay, these they call themselves as agencies, advertising agencies. They help you create the content, they help you create whatever you want. Like basically, if you want a web page to be done, yes, they are there. If you want to have a small advertisement in TV, yes, they are there. They'll help you to all like come up with the particular concept. Then they'll even help you with the different actors there. They'll give you the dialogues. The shooting is being done, editing is done. So most of the things are done by those people. Okay, even they'll help you at times to gain where all like it has to be pasted or when it should be aired. So all these things are being taken care by advertising agencies. Okay, this is basically an advertising agency who are helping different people or companies or individuals to communicate with their customers or prospect customers or general public. So these things are called as advertising agencies. So next coming to types of advertising agencies, we are having 7 different types. One is creative boutique, media buying services, direct response services, sales promotion agencies, public relation firms, interactive agencies, and full service agencies. So in detail, we'll look into each one of those. So first one is creative boutiques. What are creative boutiques? It provides only creative services. So what are creative services? We'll look into the further points. So their clients typically outsource only the creative part while maintaining the other service in-house. So they are providing you with concept. So if they need a creative concept, so these the companies hire these people. I want a concept. Okay, so that should be different from whatever is being there in the market. So these kind of creative people are there who will be coming up with creative advertisements. So if you remember Vodafone, Zuzu, it was one of the creative thing done in advertisement where it captured the mind of all the people. So when it came Zuzu, it was so popular. They made different advertisements of Zuzus. Okay, so it was used many places in cricket. Though the advertisement of those, they used to come and they used to say hi and all those things were there. So it was that popular. So that was a creative thing which was done. Okay, next Tata Sky ad. It was 8 ads, 7 or 8 ads basically, where a girl is going and trying to get recharge, and different scenarios of it is being shown. So that was also popular. So if you remember, Zuzu was very popular. This was there. The second ad of Tata Sky was there for a few months, and later on they stopped it. I don't know why, but even that was gaining popularity. Around 7 to 8 different scenarios of it was done. So these all are being done. These ideas will be done by this creative people. So only for that particular part we are using creative people who are already there, who only do these things. Okay, these people give the creative ideas. So those are called as creative boutiques. Next, the clients do not have the requisite skill for being creative. Why do they hire? Okay, everything setup is there, but they are not able to come up with creative ideas. So they'll hire these people to give them creative ideas based on the scenario, your product, what you want to convey basically. So all these things taken into consideration, they come up with a creative idea. Next is full service agencies sometimes outsource creative part to these boutiques. So full service agencies is the last one, seventh one. So we'll look there. So in many of these, out of 1 to 6, we'll see full service agencies. So what is this? We'll see at the seventh one. Okay. They are usually formed by people from the creative department of full service agencies who leave and form their own companies, sometimes even taking away their clients. So if you feel that okay, you are very creative and you can run your own company, many people have done this. So they are working in creative department of many ad agencies, many companies. They have left and they have come out and started with their own company where they are providing only creative ideas. So if anybody is in need of those, they can contact them and get those particular creative ideas. Next comes media buying services. So what are media buying services? They are independent companies that specializes in buying the media, particularly the radio and television. So what are they doing? They buy time. Okay, they buy space. So some program is going on, and at the advertisement in between, they are having 5 minutes, for example, or 3 minutes. So these people buy that 3 minutes, okay, and they'll be reserving it for themselves. So if you go to these media buying services, they'll tell you, okay, I'm having at this particular place. Like for example, any media buying service has bought time in IPL. Now IPL is going on, so in between overs or in between that strategic timeout and all those things, or between two innings, there is time. There are advertisements. So that particular time is being bought by these media buying agencies and in turn sold to you. If you go there and say, yes, I want to feature my ad in this particular timings at the time of IPL, they say, okay, this is the price, and it should be of this particular length, and these many times it is being done. So these people are basically doing that. They are buying that particular time and space, and it is being further distributed with different people who want to play their ad in that particular time. Okay, so these are media buying services. Not only I gave you example of TV, even in radio, in FMs, they do this. Many people buy that particular timings for so many months or so many days. Then if somebody contacts them, they'll say, okay, yes, it can be played at this particular thing, you choose, and the costing would be so and so. These types of services have become a necessity due to proliferation of media channels. In the sense, many media channels have come and huge advertisement is being done over there. The next, they analyze and purchase time and space. As I told you, timing and space is being bought by these particular agencies, and in turn, it will be sent or distributed among their clients. Then developing media strategy is also sometimes part of the service provided. So media strategy, as I told you, if you tell them when to play and how much to play, they'll do it. If you are not sure, they'll even help with that. Okay. So what kind of product you are having, what is your target audience, everything they'll take into consideration and they'll suggest you. So which are the programs looking which you need to air your ad basically. They'll give you that advices also. Then based on your budget, then the frequency and their availability of time and space, they'll suggest you, okay, here for this particular serial, after this first break or second break, we can run this particular ad. So such kind of advices also are given by these particular people. This is media buying services. Next is direct response agencies. What these people do? These service providers help clients communicate directly with their consumers through telemarketing. Okay, these are the services where there is a phone call given saying that, okay, these are the new products into the market. So we are here to call you. There is a, discount offer that is going on. So we are calling you to inform that. So if you are very much wanting to buy this, you can buy with our this one, and you can avail this particular discount. Or it could be one plus buy one get one free, or it could be bundling, like buy two get one, or get something different one, different product, okay, of the same company. Like if you buy shampoo, a small conditioner sachet is free, which is related. Basically, after using shampoo you are using conditioner, right? So basically all these things you could do. Okay, bundling is there, then giving them a call. Then emails and direct mails. Emails are sending emails to different people. Okay, so even you might be getting different advertising mails stating that, okay, these are the discounts, this is being done. Okay, so many days are there, limited period offer. So if you buy this and this, and the price is above 2000 3000, you are getting around 6% discount, 10% discount. So all these comes under email. And direct mail, in the sense, earlier brochures and all would be sent home, okay, or sent to the institutions or sent to the companies, the brochures and all. So that is direct mail. These companies, the direct response agencies, basically help their customers in all these particular things. Okay, they are sometimes divisions or subsidiaries of large full scale agencies. Again, I told you, full scale agencies or full service agencies we'll see at the end. The variety of service provided by them include database management, direct mail, research, media services, and creation and production capabilities. So here they are providing you with database management in the sense if you are having a database of many clients or your customers, so they will help you to send them mails. They'll help you to call them and inform whatever discounts or whatever offers you are having, or they can help you send your thing. It could be a pamphlet, it could be a uh, offer coupon, whatever it is. So it could directly reach your home by post. Okay, these things are being done by these people. So what all? First database management, then direct mails. So as I told, it reaches your home or your office. That is direct mail. Then if you need any information, any research to be done under uh, or for you, basically you want any research, they help in that, as well as media services. If you need, like in what media you want to advertise, they even suggest that. And creation and production capabilities, as I told you, creation, you want to come up with an ad. Okay, then production, so gathering all the necessary actors, then coming up with the dialogues, then the music, background music, then editing, all these things they are doing here in direct response agencies. Next, database development and management. So database, I told you what is database. So it is a set of prospect people, basically. It could be a customers, it could be prospect customers, it could be general public. Okay, there are people who sell the data. Okay, so suddenly, like, you are getting so many mails of a certain brand or certain product. Why is this? Because they might have bought it with someone. So if you are going somewhere, like earlier, if you go to some Mela and all, they used to say, okay, there is a contest for you. Please fill your name, phone number, and other stuff, email ID, and all. If you win, we'll contact you. And that is a pool of data for them. So you'll give your right phone number, you'll give your correct email ID, and everything. So they'll take it and they'll sell it to many people. Okay, so further those people will send or segregate based on whatever they want and however they want. So that is costing a lot. Okay, you are just putting your name for the sake of that particular contest, but whoever that particular contest is being run, those people collect the data, they make a database and they'll sell it. Okay, everyone, I'm not telling everyone does it, but most of the times your data reaches your advertisers in this particular way. In somewhere you have given your data and that is being sold. So these kind of databases are also mentioned, and there are companies who sell this particular database based on whatever things, like for example TRP ratings. So what are these? So they'll collect the data of how many people are watching what particular show at what particular time. So this information is taken, and how many people you could reach or how many households you could reach. You can make a particular media plan and you could air your advertisement at that particular time. Okay, so that is direct response agencies. Next comes sales promotion agencies. What sales promotion agencies does? They specialize in planning, developing, and administering sales promotion programs such as contests, sweepstakes, refunds and rebates, premium and incentive offers, and sampling programs. So, what are these contests? If you go to any place or anything, if you want to buy, they say, okay, there is a contest that is being run, so you can provide your information, and if you get like, we'll pick a winner or two winners or three winners, whatever, based on their criteria. They say if you are there, then you could get that. Or they'll say that, okay, if you buy above 2000 or 3000, you are eligible for this particular contest. So those are these contests. Next is sweepstakes. What are sweepstakes? Sweepstakes are like basically gambling. Okay, it is kind of a gamble where they say, okay, buy so much of product, your name will be put there. Okay, then you'll get a bike, you'll get a car. So you could see that, okay, like five people get TVs, seven people get two wheelers. So these are kind of sweepstakes where you are buying something and wishing you get something else. So these are called as sweepstakes. Then refunds and rebates. So if you buy something and if you get a particular contest or a particular what you call, you are being selected in a particular thing, then they'll say, okay, you are having 10% discount on your next purchase. Okay, or a particular amount is being refunded on your next purchase or something like that. So those things are there. Then premium and incentive offers. So if you buy so much, we'll reduce your price by these things. Okay, if you, or they say if you buy above 3,000 or 4,000, these many coupons would be provided. Okay, and you could use them later sometime when you are shopping at our store or our partner store somewhere sometime later. Okay, so these all comes under this. Then sampling programs. So if you go somewhere, they'll ask you to see, like for example, if you go to mall and other stuff, they'll ask you to smell their perfume. If you're really interested and if you want to buy, they say, okay, a small part of your hand is being sprayed with that particular perfume. They'll ask you to smell it. If you like it, you can buy. Otherwise, not. So those are sampling programs. So what that particular sampling programs could be held in many places. And to organize all this, the sales promotion agencies will help you. They coordinate the efforts with the direct response and advertising agencies of the client for maximum impact. So if your company is already having these particular setup, they'll help them to have a better reach to their customers. Okay, even that could be done by the sales promotion agencies. Their compensation is generally fee based. So for these many months or for this particular number of contests, I'll be charging so much. So the fee would be in that particular way. The next is public relation firms. These firms develop and implement programs to manage the client's publicity, image, and affairs with customers or consumers and other relevant publics. Okay, so these people try to have a brand image in the minds of the customers or consumers, or it could be anything. So next, if you see anything, that is what I'm saying. Relevant publics. Who are relevant publics? The publics may include employees, suppliers, shareholders, government, labor groups, citizen action groups, and general public. So it could be anyone or all of us. Okay, it could be any of these or multiple of these or all of these. Even your employees need to be educated what is being done in the company. Okay, even if the employee only is not like having trust on your product, how will he say outside if somebody asks him, okay, you're working there, so do you think is the product good? So if he says no, go and take some other product, this is not good. So what kind of impact it has on the customer? So he says, okay, the person is working in the company only says don't buy, why are you buying? Okay, leave it. Okay, and if the person says, okay, it is a very good product, I know because I am only producing it, just use it. If you like it, well and good, otherwise you can change anytime. So this has a different impact. Okay, so it says, okay, my friend or my relative works in that particular company and he is very much keen on me using it, so that means it is good, right? So why don't you use it? So word of mouth goes like this. So even the stakeholders, shareholders, the government should have trust on you. It could be labor groups if you're having labor unions and also those particular groups, something has to be told to them. So the public relation officer or PR, basically what we say, public relations. So there are firms who take care of all these things. So our big celebrities, the companies, the government, all have PR agencies where those people will be helping them build a brand of them. Okay, next is, it is important for these firms to coordinate with their clients, advertising and other promotions. So they'll see what is to be basically like sent from the company. That increases the brand image in the minds of the people. And similar advertisements are also done based on the recommendation of PR officers. Okay, this is public relation firms. Then interactive agencies. What are these? They specialize in development and strategic use of interactive marketing tools such as website, banner ads, CD-ROMs, and kiosks. So here, interactive agencies. So before going this, I want to have you a small thing, like understanding of what are kiosks. Okay, kiosks are something. It's a machine basically. For you, I would give example of ATM. Okay, ATM is a kiosk basically where you are getting money, but it is called as ATM. But here kiosks are. a small machine, kind of a vending machine you could say, or a small place where you are getting different products of that particular company. Is a kiosk. You put money, you are getting a particular product, or there is a person who is standing, you pay him something and he'll give the product. So these are small places where you are getting a company's different products in one place. Those are kiosks. Then we are having websites. So it is interactive. So if something you require, you go there and there is some contact details, information, or there could be bots now. You can directly chat with the company. Okay, where automated bots are there, or there are some people who will be responding. So those will be done by these interactive agencies. Then banner ads. So you are browsing somewhere and you can see at the right hand side or the left hand side there are some advertisements coming. So those particular ads are being designed by these interactive agencies. Then CD-ROMs. Earlier, if you see, if you are very interested, they would send a catalog in a form of a CD or product information in the form of a CD, or it could be the instructions. If you buy something and it's the instruction manual which the company used to send to the customer's home. So those are CD-ROMs and kiosks. I just explained. Kiosks are small booths kind of thing where your products are available. People go there, they buy your products. Then successful interactive marketing programs require expertise in technology, creating website or creative website design, database marketing, digital marketing, and customer relationship management. CRM is the most important thing here. So in interactive agencies, if anybody wants to be in interactive agencies, you need to be good in technology, creating website, good design, website design, then database marketing, digital media marketing, and CRM. In the last one, they may be subsidiaries of large full scale services. Again, we are seeing full scale services here. So in the next one only, we are looking into the full scale services. So what are these full service agencies? These offer a full range of marketing, communication, and promotional services. It, if you just go and contact them from the initial stage to the final stage, they take care of it. You need to just pay relevant amount what they ask. So what all are the offers that include in this full service agencies? So you are looking at it. It is planning, creating, producing advertisement, performing research, then selecting media, strategic market planning, sales promotion, direct marketing, interactive capabilities, okay, packaging design, public relations, and publicity. Everything is taken care of. Okay, from the initial stage to the final stage, and most of it what you have seen earlier. So first to six, all are there here. See, if you see media selecting media, direct marketing, interactive capabilities, okay, packaging design, public relations, publicity, everything is being included in full service agencies. Okay, they'll charge also accordingly because they are giving a full range of services to you. Okay, basically we are including all the other six in this plus additional. There it is planning, creating, publicity, direct marketing, selecting media, performing research. Okay, so these all come under this particular services. So I hope we will stop here with the services. Just going back, we'll see what all we saw. We saw what is advertising agency, and we saw different kinds of advertising agencies. Seven types are there, and we saw in detail each one of them. Okay. Okay, students, we'll end the class today. Thank you very much.